Okay, you may have seen these colourful artifacts sprouting around in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you may have a clue as to what they are, but do you have any idea what's going on? If you're not much of a comic book fan, you might be like, that cosmic square thing is the Tesseract, and that flying red gelatine is the Aether. Well done. But there's more to these sparkly trinkets than meets the eye. Hopefully this video will help you out a little. I'm not going to babble on and go too much into depth, because let's face it, who the hell has time for that? Okay, let's take a look at the comics. There once was a pesky purple person called Thanos, who was teased at the end of the Avengers. Okay, get this. So this guy wants to eradicate all living things in the universe because he wants to impress some chick called Death. But we're not going to go into that strange little love story just now. Anyway, Thanos can't just float around the universe destroying everything in his path willy-nilly. He needs something. Something that has almighty power. So that's exactly what he got. The Infinity Gauntlet. This bad boy is powered by those cute little gems you can see right there. 6 in total. These Infinity Gems, or Infinity Stones as they're known in the movies, all have unique but equally amazing abilities. I'm not going to go into the origins of them, I'm just going to tell you which ones are which and what they do. Firstly, the Space Gem. Recognise this? This gem can open portals to any other place in space, which is exactly what happened in the Avengers when Eric Selvig and the gang built a machine to harness the cube's power to open a portal above New York to let the Chitauri crew wreak havoc on the poor citizens below. Seeing as though we're on the topic of the Avengers, you notice that glowing stone in Loki's scepter? Yep, that's right, the Mind Gem. Loki uses its mind controlling powers to corrupt the brains of poor old Hawkeye and Eric Selvig. Next up, the Power Gem. Not so much a stone in this film, more like an angry red flubber, but it's still one of the 6 stones nonetheless. This dark elf Malekith created this powerful putty to send the universe back into darkness, but his plans were foiled by Thor and a bunch of metal poles. Anyway, with Malekith defeated and the Aether in the hands of the Asgardians now, they stupidly decide to let this guy, the Collector, keep hold of it. Little do they know that this guy's a huge Infinity Stones fan and just wants to catch them all. So they're the 3 stones we've seen in the film so far, but what about the other 3? When and where can we expect to see those? Well, firstly the remaining 3 are the Time Gem, the Soul Gem and the Reality Gem. The Time Gem gives the holder the power to manipulate time at their will, which means they can act like Doctor Who. It also gives them the ability to be present in any moment in time at the same time. The Soul Gem does exactly what it says on the tin. It can mess about with your soul, which includes revealing information about someone's super inner secrets and reverting souls to their natural state. It also gives the holder the ability to trap someone's soul within the gem, which gives the gem wielder access to their memories and skills. Lastly, the Reality Gem. This overpowered piece of space stone grants the user the power to alter reality around them or others. As a whole, they can basically make the impossible possible. Raise the dead, create a totally altered world, you name it. Right, okay, I've briefly spoke about each gem, which means they've got many abilities that I haven't necessarily covered, but I've given you a sweet little overview nonetheless. Going back to the comics, Thanos manages to get hold of all 6 at once and uses it with the Infinity Gauntlet because he's a total badass. My speculations for these Avenger films is that Thanos' gauntlet shenanigans is gonna be on the big screen. With all these stones flying about in the films, it won't be long until we see all 6 eventually. My guess is that the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy film will introduce us to the Time Gem. If this crusty little orb isn't in fact the Time Gem, I personally believe it'll be at least one of the other 2. It could be possible that Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man, gets hold of the Reality Gem, which could be the reason why he can shrink. I mean, he's altering reality and doing something impossible, right? I know in the comics he creates the shrinking serum, but who knows, in the movie he might harness the Reality Gem's abilities to create the serum in the first place. As for the Soul Gem, my guess is that it will be in the Doctor Strange film. Maybe he uses the gem's powers for himself, which could explain why he has powers in the first place. For the film, that is. I know Doctor Strange has a comic book origin, but they might tweak it for the sake of these gems in the films. I might be right, I might be wrong, I might be half right, I don't know. Maybe we'll see the next 3 gems in Age of Ultron, Captain America 3, Thor 3. We'll have to find out. But for now, thanks for listening, and I hope I've filled your brain with some useful Marvel movie knowledge, so you can tell your mates, I know who that Thanos fella is, I do. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this chunk of trivia, let me know in the comments, and maybe I could make some more useful videos for you. Bye for now.